Welcome to the Hoosier Adventure YouTube channel. My name's Jim. It's a pleasure having you guys with me. If this is your first time stopping in to watch the channel, welcome. And if you're a subscriber or a return viewer, we greatly appreciate that too. Tonight's video is just a little bit different. We're going to cover a variety of things. We're going to talk about how to save money with some fishing hacks. Okay, we're going to talk about some new baits that I've made that we got upcoming videos on. We're going to, at the end of this video, instead of the picture stuff, we're going to have some fishing videos where I'm out R&D'ing some of the latest and greatest, like the grub bug bait that I made in the last video. And we're going to kind of showcase some things. We're also going to talk about one of the most underrated crappie baits out there, and we're going to talk about that bait. So let's get started with fishing hack number one. Okay, listen to me, guys. That right there, this is probably 11 by at least 9.5. Nice case, good sealing. Okay. $3, $2.99 at Harbor Freight. Okay, don't go to these places and spend, you know, 15, 20 bucks on these things. You can hang it, you can store it in a boat. I mean, good gracious, I put our sticker on this one and I'm gonna load it up with baits, and this works fine. You can get this stuff at Harbor Freight, okay? Way, 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 way cheaper, especially when they're running their parking lot sales. And I bought 6 of these today, and for 12 bucks, 18 bucks. Yeah, $3 a piece, $18. I spent less than $20. I guess I need to learn to do math. But anyway, bottom line is, I got 6 for the price of what one at Bass Pro Shop costs. I mean, come on. So think about that the next time you're needing something, okay? It just saves you money. And you know, with inflation and everything, we might as well save money, right? All right, next thing we're going to talk about. So I did the Plastisol review, and that video didn't do as good as what I thought. I think it had less than 200 views on it. And I was going to do a part 2 to it, but it just didn't generate enough. But I know that there's a handful of you out there that was interested, so I'm going to touch on it right now. So we have the bait plastic, we have the dead-on plastic red label, and then we have the Lure Works. Okay, now the bait plastic is a medium. The dead-on plastic red label is kind of a mix between medium and hard, and then the Lure Works is a medium hard. Okay, now I was trying to make, you know, compare apples to apples when I was doing the video. So we talked about price, we talked about clarity, we talked about fumes. And, you know, durability, you know, does it make a difference? I can honestly tell you that our channel, going into the 2027 bait bonanza that we will do for 2027, that's this coming winter, we are switching to Lure Works. The only reason that I'm switching to Lure Works is because of less fumes. So, you know, I started all this basically in my home, hand tying jigs, and I built like a little studio here in my garage for bait making now and tying jigs and to record videos for you folks. Okay, but on the other side of that wall right there is my kitchen, and right over there is the door that goes into my home. Now, I was using fans, but you still get that lingering smell. I have been using the Lure Works now continuously. As you can see, that gallon's almost gone, to make baits. And I basically, because I've been using dead-on plastic, so I knew what it was like. So I was testing between the bait plastic and the lure works. And my determination is there is not enough price difference between the dead-on plastic and the lure works. It is worth switching, in my opinion, for what I do, to have the less fumes. Now the bait plastic is the most expensive, okay? It's a good product, okay? I'm not gonna knock it, but bottom line is, in my opinion, the lure works medium hard, and I do like a medium hard bait, so that the crappie baits hold up under everything real good. It has just worked a lot more flawlessly to me. It is clear, but I don't know that really makes the difference in the baits, okay? I just don't see a big difference in that clarity thing. Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe I'm not seeing something. But point of the matter is, we're going to switch to Lure Works next year. So we will be purchasing 5 gallons of the Lure Works medium hard, and that's what we're going to go with. I have nothing against dead-on plastics red labeled. It did a marvelous job, made some terrific baits this year. It just produced a lot more fumes than what I care to have. And bait plastic makes a great product, but to be honest with you, I just wouldn't spend the money on it. Obviously, the price per bait goes up drastically. And if you haven't seen that video, there's a link down in the description. Go back and watch it, because I put them side by side, guys. I put them right there together. And I have shot these baits. I've double injected. I've done it all, and I couldn't really tell a difference other than the fact that the Lure Works just doesn't have the fumes. So with that being said, we will be switching to the Lure Works going into the 2027 bait bonanza. Okay, so if you got any questions on that, leave me a comment, or if you want to put your 2 cents in there, maybe you're using something, one of the other ones. I want everybody to have their own opinion and express it, okay? So moving on, we're going to talk about one of the most underrated baits out there for crappie. And we're getting ready to go into spring right now. And the crappie haven't gathered up yet. They're still pretty scattered. The best way to get across as much water as possible to find these small schools of crappie, in my opinion, is the underspin, okay? And that's what we have here, okay? So I'm also going to be showing you a brand new bait that I just done that the video is going to be coming out on, okay? This is a short truce back with the shiny white bottom with a gold tail, and I've added gold flake into the mold so that I get that pop. Hopefully that's really resonating on camera, okay? The underspin, the biggest thing that I see is that you want plenty of distance between, so that when this underspin is working, okay, the underspin blade isn't hitting your belly here. You want to make sure that that underspin has plenty of room to do the flickering. Now this one here has a Colorado blade on it, and it's silver, but they make all different kinds. So like in muddy water, you might want to go to like a gold colored blade or an orange colored blade. It's going to resonate better in muddy water situations. And clear water, obviously, like the pond out there right now, this Colorado blade is going to work really, really super well. But this is the best way to cover a lot of water in a short period of time and get yourself on the fish. I use this method. If I go to a new lake and I don't know it, I'll use this method to cover as much water. It's a lot of casting, yes, but once you find the fish or the school crappie, then I'll switch over and I'll start fishing, you know, my regular baits. So now that I kind of let the cat out of the bag, I'm going to show you these new baits. So this is the brand new. This is Epic Molds Crappie Crusher, I think it is. Yeah, Crappie Crusher. This is 1.5 inches. And basically what I'm doing is I'm double injecting with a chartreuse back and a creamy white bottom, okay? But before I inject it, I'm actually, and the idea came to me from the mica powders, how I paint that mica powder into the mold and then I inject it to get that different look. Well, it's the same thing here, and you might say, well, why would you do that? Well, look at the difference, okay? If you take something that you have mixed, like this one here, okay? Hopefully, again, the camera's picking it up. We've got some reds, some oranges, and some copper and red in that, brown, okay? But look at the pop difference, okay? I mean, these bad boys pop, okay? So that was the effect. It's kind of like hand tying our jigs. We put that crystal flash in there, and we can either put it in the tail, we can wrap the body, or we do both. You know, we're looking for that pop. We want to get that fish's attention. And basically, that's what I wanted to do here. I'm trying to get that fish's attention, okay? And you're going to see on the video. So at the end of this video, or at the end, I run, instead of the pictures, I'm going to do 2 videos. But you're going to see this jig right here, 2 casts, 2 big crappie. They were 11.5 inches. And I mean, they were just chowing down on this thing. Okay. They were chasing it down. Okay. So, now the cure time on these is a little bit longer. Okay. If you don't want to make these the night before. Okay. Like these have been made. I made these yesterday and they're just now getting cured up, which means you can't get, nothing's coming off, okay? If you do these, okay, here's another one. This is the bait that, old school bait. And I added this copper to the bottom of it. So when I hook up on this, basically, I want this copper bottom facing down, crappie feed up. So I want that copper blasting so that it gets their attention. And then I've got on this one here, this tail glows green. So I got a lot of pop in this, okay? A lot of pop. Now, I'm still testing all this, okay? That's one reason why you haven't seen the video on it, because I don't want to tell you, oh yeah, this is going to work if it doesn't work. In other words, I want to fish this stuff. And if it holds up, which this one has, I mean, this one's still fine. This is the actual jig that you're going to see in the video. I brought it in and took the jig head off of it and laid it here. This is the actual jig right here. And it has had no effect on it. But I'm going to do some more testing, and if everything works good, y'all are going to get a chance to see that video, and hopefully we'll do some more fishing with it. The other thing that you're going to see here for long is I have figured out how to mold the tail into the badass jig now. That's molded in there. That's not pulled through, it's molded in there. Okay. Now I also added some flash to it. Now this tail hasn't been trimmed on it or anything, but again, I want to make sure that that the fish aren't going to see like that. We don't want to see that. All right. So until I get it perfected, and then I'll pass along to you guys on exactly what I do. But it's temperature controlled. So you want to make sure that this is bonding to this as well as possible. So you don't want to take it out, tie it on, and the first fish that grabs the tail takes it off, basically. And that's why you haven't seen the video yet, because I'm not done testing with it. So everything that you see, like today, the videos you're going to see is me out there testing stuff. Also, we got a brand new, well, I kind of already showed this one too, is this brand new brown color. So this has basically a brown top on it with an orange, and I've embedded some reds and golds and coppers into it. Basically just going for that chub minnow look. Again, I like that chub minnow look. I think it's a really good look out there. So yeah, that's kind of where I'm at right now. And working on, you know, just developing some stuff. Here's a real good shot of that chub minnow with a chartreuse head on it. But it's got a nice brown top on it, and then that orangey look on the bottom. So, oh, hack number 2. So this hack to me is a great hack, okay? This too comes from Harbor Freight, okay? These things are incredible just for the simple fact that if you want to use one without falling on you guys, basically you just take it off, and now you've got your storage container, and you can store quite a bit of stuff in this, okay? I have some hand-tied jigs from last year in here. Some of this is my test stuff that I'm using just to test colors and stuff. And the cool thing about this, guys, is I think I only spent $13 on this thing. And I mean, literally, you can put a ton of bait in this thing. I mean, a ton of bait in this thing. And other gear. So I want to get this other one out for you and show you. So I also run, let's see here. So I've got some lost my train of thought. Can you tell? I get to blame my old age on that. But I got some crankbaits in here. You know, I mean, some of my walleye stuff in here. And then they have these dividers that come with it, so you can make it up however you want to make it up. But the one I want to show you is, like, I use the heck out of this for my like slip bobbers and stuff, because I do a lot of slip bobber fishing. I love slip bobber fishing. And as you can see, not only do I have all my slip bobber stuff right here, but I still got enough room for some baits and stuff. And I got my slip bobber knots right here, and all the different kinds of slip bobbers I like to use, including my trout magnet bobbers. I mean, I've got my big round ones that I like to use sometimes, all depending on wind and current and stuff. But for the price, hit those sidewalk sales there. I've had these for a couple years, and I love mine. They're easy to manage, and they're easy to take around. So all 4 of these together, I'm guessing probably weighs, I don't know, 20 pounds. And I can grab the center, and I got all 4 of them, put it in the boat and go. Or if I'm going in with a buddy, I can grab all 4 of them, put it in his boat and go. And then I've got all my stuff with me. So to be honest with you, I check into it. They're awesome. And it's just a fishing hack that hopefully saves you a ton of money. All right, so I had quite a few emails. We are working on being able to sell you guys some baits. Okay, now this is nothing more than us just trying to recoup and be able to continue to buy, like Plastisol and the Tamorah hooks and stuff. So we're not gouging nobody. We're working on a little black bag like this. Okay, you'll get 6 baits for $1. So you get 6 of these baits for $1. Okay, now we got a little ways to go because I don't know nothing about PayPal. I'm learning. And I'd like to build a website that for the channel that allows you guys not only to buy baits, you'll see what I have in inventory, because I don't really build baits all year long. I'm not in the business of building baits. I'm in the business of going fishing. So when I run out of something, I run out of it until I do the next bait bonanza and kind of just spend the winter, hand tying jigs. So you'll have access to them. You'll have access to these grub bugs. You'll have access to the badass jig, any of the hand tides, as long as I have them in stock and it shows. Well, one thing about it, you gotta love GoPro. I think the GoPro shut off again. Anyway, but you'll have access to all these baits and stuff. Whatever I have, I'm going to try to keep it 6 to a bag, and we have these nice bags that will keep your baits fresh. We'll put some worm oil in there, and hopefully we can get that up and get it going and figure out the payment stuff. But basically, it does. It helps us fund the channel and purchase the Plastisol and the stuff that I use out here to shoot videos and stuff, and build radical baits like this one right here, and share with you guys. So hopefully, we'll get that up and I'll put it out on the channel. Okay, so some of the things I'm working on right now. We've to me, both Rebecca and I feel truly blessed. We started our YouTube channel the tail end of February, and I think our first video went out the 1st of March of 2025. We've now exceeded 520 subscribers, so thank you so much. We totally feel blessed. We have got to meet some very awesome people, and that within itself is so awesome, because we are people, and as you can tell, I don't know a stranger. We have subscribers from Australia, Belgium, England, and I have had the opportunity to converse with some of you through via email. So welcome, and thank you so much for your support. And I do apologize. We have not figured out how to get baits to you guys, because this little bag, and this is gonna floor you. We found out that we were going to send some baits to Australia to one of our subscribers, and we're only charging $1. Problem is, shipping was almost $35. Yeah, that doesn't make sense. So I don't know if we're going to get it figured out, but we're working on it, and hopefully, we'll get it figured out and be able to get baits to you guys too. But we do appreciate you coming and stopping in, and it means a lot to us. All right. Next email was on the Tamorahs. Yes, I use Tamorah jig heads. I get them from Amazon. To be honest with you, I'm not even sure who makes them, but I like them. And yeah, I don't know. It doesn't say. Bottom line is I just like the way it falls with these. I've used other jig heads and stuff, and I just like these. Now, these people don't know who I am, but I just find something, it works. If it's not broke, don't fix it. So that's what I use on all my hand ties. It's got the nice sharp sickle hooks in it. I've never had a problem with a hook set, and they do hold up really well. So, you know, obviously I leave links to all this stuff in the description so that you guys, if you want to try them, you're more welcome to. So you can get multiple different colors, like this is a gold head. You can get the multicolor, or you can order these with all chartreuse heads, all black heads. There's 50 to a container, and I think it's like $9 if I remember right. I looked around for somebody that did this stuff because I'd rather support them. I just couldn't find anybody that took the time to paint the round jig heads. I guess I'm old school. I just like the look of the round head, and I like the form it makes on the body. I like the way the jig swims with it. So just kind of old school, guys. That's what it's all about. Some upcoming videos this year. I'm back on the vise. I've already done a handful of videos with the vise. The vise is where I'm more at home. So here's, I got an email about this. No, I have not been doing this for years. I think there was some misunderstanding. Scott Shipley, who was one of our winners in one of our giveaways, he's probably been doing it since the 70s, if I remember right. Okay. I have only been hand tying for 2 years, and I've only been bait making. This is my second year. Okay. This is year 2. I got started making baits with Robert, who is like a son to me. He came over last winter, and we were out here in my garage kind of playing around. And he has a family, he has kids, and they're into sports and stuff, and he couldn't really get away. So I just dove into this, and I have loved it. Again, it just becomes a passion, and instead of just solely concentrating on hand tides, I wanted to branch out and kind of combine the two of them, such as, you know, developing the grub bug, which, you know, has both hand tied and injectable bodies, and kind of incorporate it and come up with some different baits and stuff. You know, there's a lot of channels out there. There's a lot of talented guys out there. I mean, I watched several of these guys, and, you know, one that comes to mind is Jeremy at Whozer Hooking. I love what these guys are doing, okay? They're doing some fantastic work, and they're extremely talented. But I want to be different. I want to find that ultimate bait. I want that bait when everybody else goes back to the ramp and they don't have hardly anything in the live well, and I've limited out. I'm throwing things out there that these fish probably have never seen, or the types of colors and stuff, or, you know, like this bait here, you know, with that crystal and that flash in the belly. You know, I try to think outside the box. Okay. Now that doesn't mean I just jump on YouTube and you know, here you go. Everything that I've done, I have tested. Okay. And it works. Okay. Now there were some guys that were having some problems with the mica powder. Here's what I would tell you. Heat makes a difference. Okay. Get it too hot and it will not cure. Get it too low and it will not adhere. So you got to find that proportional heat. Just like, you know, with this embedding this tail in this grub body. Okay. If you're much over 312 degrees, it's just not going to stay in there, because you're running a foreign material through the body, and all of that's got to shrink around it and stuff. And so I try to test everything to its fullest before I put it out there to you as to whether or not it truly works. So what I recommended to a handful of them is control your temperature, okay? Make sure your temperature is within this range, and then give it plenty of curing time. It takes longer for this style of bait making to cure because of what you're doing, okay? Now, this stuff is meant to go on the inside in the mix, okay? It's not meant to go on the outside. I'm just looking for that edge, basically, is all I'm saying. I'm looking for that edge when I'm out there fishing. But I'm not going to try to put something out there that I'm not testing. So, I try to stay focused on it. And this particular bait here, that's on this Underspin, was made this morning, and it's not cured at all. As you can see, there's some glitter coming off, okay? And, there you go. Hopefully it picks it up. These need to cure. That's why I only pulled one off and the rest of them are still hanging up there, because they need the curing time, okay? You gotta let them cure. Typically 48 hours in a very cool environment. And then this stuff won't come off, just like this one here. This was made probably a week ago and has been hanging ever since, and now it's on there. It doesn't come off. So feel pretty good about that. But all that takes some testing. And then I'm always, you can reach me at whozer.adv@gmail.com. Just reach out to me if you're having problems on any of the things that I show you. And we'll work through the problems and get it nailed down for you. So, all right. Trying to make sure I got everything covered tonight. I know it's kind of a weird video. Setting up my jig heads. That was the other one. All right. Some of you have been around the channel long enough to know exactly how I do things, okay? Some of you have not. So I'm going to show this tonight. And yes, I would use a loop knot on this right here. I want that bait to work freely, like it's natural. I probably fish a loop knot 97% of the time. Very seldom do I use, the other knots. I'm trying to think of one, but I know several knots. Now, my leader line, I use it on crappie fishing. Most generally, I use ice fishing line mono. I use 2 pound, and I use a double uni knot to make my leader. So my leader is usually about the length of my arm. So I'm guessing 4 feet, okay? And that just allows me plenty of ties on there. But then once I get so short, then I'll cut it off and put a new one on. And if I double rig, if I'm using 2 different, say I've got this little one and it's followed up by this 3/16 and this is a 1/64 ounce, I'm going to use a long loop knot for this one, and then I'm going to use a bottom loop knot for this one, because I want these baits to really be out there working for me. And I think the loop knot makes them look and appear more natural, okay? So that's food for thought. How I rig. So you have a belly. This is where all of our flash is, okay? So you're building your bait upside down, your jig upside down, okay? So basically what I'm going to do is I'm going to take my hook along the back of that bait, okay? And I'm going to run that as straight as I can. I want to keep it in the center of that tail, and then I'm going to pull it up, okay? Now I want that hook right dead even with that tail. The more center you get it, the better it swims, okay? Then what I'm going to do is I'm going to take this jig, we're going to grab Jim's favorite. Now, I catch a lot of slack for this. I am not sponsored by Loctite. They don't know who I am either. I promise you that, okay? I like this particular super glue only because two things. One, there's no smell to it, none. It has no odor to it. And two, it isn't messy, okay? I don't like messy. I don't like getting it on my fingers and stuff because that stuff's hard to get off. So basically, I'm going to pull that back like that, okay? And then I'm just going to take a little dab of this. Just a little dab. My thing's getting a little low. There we go. All right. And then I'm just going to scoot that body back up. And I'm going to hold it there in place. Now, if you go back to my earliest videos, I was wrapping thread there. Yes. I quit doing that because, to be honest with you, this holds just as good. Okay? And if I need to change this out, say, you know, this bait gets ripped in half, it's a little easier to remove it from the shank of the hook, okay? And put a new bait on and glue it on and then get back to fishing, okay? But the Loctite super glue gel is by far, now there's tons of glues out there, guys. I use that on my hand tying side. I use it on the bait side over here. I just like it. It's less messy, you know. I've used a lot of the other glues and I keep going back to this one. And I know I catch a lot of slack like, dude, you're using super glue. I'm like, yeah, it works. Again, if it ain't broke, don't fix it. So, yeah. So that's how I set up. And then, you know, maybe we do a video and I'll show you the loop knot, my double setup and stuff. But that'll be in a later video. And if you guys are interested in seeing that, leave me a comment. Listen, you know, your comments help me put out the type of material that you guys enjoy watching. So interact with me. You know, I answer every comment. I answer every email. I read every comment that's posted, okay? And I enjoy them. I enjoy them immensely because, especially the emails and stuff, because I get to learn, you know, we get to have more of a conversation and stuff. I have met some terrific people. When I go to the fishing expos, I enjoy the camaraderie of our fishing sport, all the people involved, the kids. I love the kids. I mean, their excitement and stuff. You know, when I was at the expo, I handed out baits to kids and stuff, and that was cool, you know, because that's something that is an everlasting memory for them, and I, you know, to be a part of that's just awesome for me. We are truly thankful for all of you. We are trying to build our channel. I want to get to a level when I retire to where, you know, I'm putting these videos out a couple a week, fishing, hand tying jigs, molding jigs, and continue to build some of the most off the wall baits I possibly can. I like the engineering aspect of it. You know, spending time out on the pond, you know, watching how a bait moves through the water and compare it to a tadpole or a minnow, or going to a creek and doing the same thing, you know, just kind of watching how it all comes together. And because the whole purpose is to replicate, you know, that live bait as much as you possibly can. That's the challenge. I do not use live bait. Anybody that has ever fished with me or does fish with me, I do not. Now, I do use scents, okay? So like, one of the great things about this grub bug is that I use a needle, okay? And I will demonstrate this, but I'll use a needle and I'll push that needle up in here and I'll fill that body full of scent. And then I'll fish it all day long with that scent in there. And I'll go through all that once we get out on the water, and I'll show you how I do it. And I just prefer to do it that way because it slowly leaks out through the tail all day long. And that's where I want them to strike. That's where I want them to go to eat, because right there's my hook point. So that's just again, my opinion. I don't know that it makes a difference. None of what you're going to see in the videos today, none of those had scent on them. I used them raw, bare, just to see what kind of effect I get from the fish. We caught some bass. The bass were just tearing this grub bug up. We caught some nice crappie. I don't think I caught any bluegill today, but it's still some good fishing. So another question, and then we're almost to the tail end of this. So I get asked all the time about, when I got involved in fishing. So I got involved in fishing. My mom would tell you, when I was a kid, when I was born, I had two passions: archery and fishing. So I had a rod and reel on one side and a bow in the other. So I archery hunted for clear up until 2011. And my eyesight kind of got to the point where I didn't feel comfortable going out and shooting anymore. I belonged to several archery clubs, and I competed, 3D target competed, truly enjoyed it, okay? Fishing for me really evolved when I was around probably 8 years old. I grew up on the Wabash River. That's here in Indiana. And I was a river rat. I mean, I was up and down that river, and maybe sometime, if you guys are interested, we can do a video, and I'll take you, up and down the river a little bit and kind of show you my old stomping ground. A lot of it was catfishing. Back in the early days, I still remember the mussel fishermen. We used to camp out on islands and stuff, and they'd feed me. I was, I don't know, probably 10, 11, 12 years old. Back then, the rules aren't what they are today. I can promise you that. But, I was just a regular little huckleberry fin on the Wabash River. I mean, I loved it, and it just kind of followed me. In the latter part of the 80s, I started fishing the Redman tournament. I won a few tournaments out of a 16-foot John boat with a 15-horse Sea King. I just enjoyed bass fishing at the time, and I was good at it, and I enjoyed the guys I was fishing with. I loved the camaraderie. It wasn't as commercialized as it is today. There was just everybody really got along really good. Everybody helped each other. We all met for breakfast. We all had dinner together and stuff. It was really cool. And I have very fond memories of those days. And they were very special. Some of those guys are long gone now, obviously, but they have an everlasting memory with me. So that's kind of how I got started. And then now, today, I run a 2023 ZV19 Pro Nitro. I run all Lowrance. So I started with Lowrance in the late 80s, and I've just never switched. I have no desire to switch. And I tell people, it doesn't matter your brand, just stick with it so you can learn every aspect of it, because, especially today, because, they're basically onboard computers. So if you're good enough and you want to mix the brands up, that's fine, but I'm not, so I don't, and I've always been a Lowrance guy, so I'll probably die that way. I've got buddies that own Garmins and buddies that own Hummingbirds, and yeah, I'm lost when I'm in their boat because I don't have a freaking clue how to operate it. But that's okay, because most of them can't run mine either, so it all works out in the end when we're catching fish, so that's all that really matters. But so that's kind of my little bit of history. I know tonight's video has been kind of weird and unique, but I wanted to show you some of the things I've been working on. and some of the baits and colors that I've been working on and stuff. You're going to see some of it in some videos that are coming up. Really super proud of this grub bug. I'm making up some for a buddy of mine, Chad, if you're watching, to send with him. He's heading to southern Indiana on a crappie fishing trip with some buddies. We're going to send some grub bugs, and he's going to send us back some videos and some pictures so we can share them here on the channel. That was a deal we made anyway. But he's been a great buddy, and I'm privileged to have him be a part of my life. So all the guys, actually. And Floyd, he's been instrumental. He's been kind of tied up lately, and Carl. But hopefully here real soon, you're going to see all of us together again. We're going to be out on the lakes. Sean, my buddy up north, we've got a fishing trip hopefully planned coming up in April. So hopefully he ain't too camera shy, because I'm bringing the camera, Sean. And we'll have some fun and catch some crappie and maybe fry them up. I did the birthday party, and I did have a few people say, well, why don't you do a clean and cook? And I like, well, I could do that. But I haven't had the opportunity to do it yet. So the fish fry in July, when Rebecca and I celebrated our birthdays, I think we did well over 20 pounds of crappie fillets, and there was none left. So, and with my boat being down and out, it's been hard to replenish. And there is a boat update coming in a video, and we'll discuss everything that's been going on with the boat and where we're at with it. And hopefully you'll see plenty of it out on the water this spring, summer, and fall, and who knows, maybe hopefully clear into Christmas the way the weather's been going. So if there's no ice, I'm on the water with it. So, and then, hopefully, timing wise and stuff, some of you have offered for us to come and go fishing with you, and I really want to try and make that happen. So, we'll work on details of all that stuff, and obviously let everybody know as soon as that happens, and blog the trip, and then, YouTube the fishing trip itself and the fish we catch and stuff. So, I'm looking forward to meeting you guys out there, and if you do see me in the boat, say hello. That I truly enjoy that. And, if by chance I do have, something with me, baits and stuff, I'll share them with you. Which reminds me, real quick, I still have some of the Bait Bonanza stuff left, okay? Now, if you want these, okay, this is exactly how it comes, and you guys that got yours already, throw a comment out there so that everybody knows this is for real, okay? But we put these little packs together, and basically all you got to do is mail us a self-addressed stamped envelope, 2 stamps, and we're going to stick this in there and mail it right back to you, okay? And you get these for free. So you get to try the baits out. If you like them, you like them. If not, all it costs you is 2 envelopes and 3 stamps, okay? Now, if you've already gotten one and you want another one, hey, I've got roughly 6 left that I'm going to give you. So I'm going to open the door up. I mean, everybody's had plenty of ample opportunity to watch the video and reach out to me at whozer.adv@gmail.com. And just let me know, hey, I'd like to participate in the free baits from the Bait Bonanza, and I'll email you our address. I don't want to put it on here because of security reasons. I don't want to get over and massively hit with a bunch of spam stuff. But I will email you our address, and then you just send your self-addressed envelope and with the 2 stamps on it, and we'll throw this in there, and we may make up some more. If we get enough participation, I'll make up some more, and we'll send them out. you know, and let you guys try them out and enjoy them. The only thing I ask is send us some pictures and videos. If you don't want it on YouTube, just let me know. But Rebecca and I truly enjoy, you know, the pictures and the videos of seeing what you guys do and stuff. Obviously, we'd love to share what you're doing out there on the channel, because the channel is all about you guys anyway. But I understand there's some people that just don't want their personal life out there on the internet. I'm not one of them, I guess, because here I am. But we will always respect you. I promise you that. We have no intentions on doing anything, you know, naughty at all. So, all right, guys, do me a favor though. Just stop what you're doing right now. I know you're watching the video, but stop. Look at me. You see that? That's a thumbs up. If you like this video, here. See that? Yeah, click it. And if you're inclined, join us. Hit that subscription button. Just click it. It's just a click. Click, okay? Now you're subscribed. One more thing. Hit that notification bell so you know when I'm uploading videos. And come back and sit a spell. Have some fun with me, okay? We truly enjoy each and every one of you. Good night, everybody. And I look forward to seeing you on the next video. And always remember, please be kind. Good night, everybody. And say that new jig I just designed is totally killer. That's every bit probably, well, 11.5-inch crappie right here. Nice black nose. That's pretty sweet and awesome. Heck yeah. But that jig right there, one cast, one big crappie. Well, there's 2 casts and 2 crappie. Another, I don't know, good solid 11-inch, 11.25-inch crappie. This has turned into be a fun day. All right, guys. Sorry for the wind noise. The sun's going down. I wanted to get this video clip in here. But this is the new grub bug. This is the Angel. It has the silver flash in it. So this is what it looks like when it's wet. Really streamlines nice. Good hook proportion. So let's see what we can do with it and see if the crappie are hitting. Now I don't know if this color is going to work because the sun, like I said, the sun's going down. So it may not silhouette very well, but we'll find out. We've already R&D'd a few other jigs and pulled some nice 11.5-inch crappie out so far. So from our testing ground here. So let's see what we can do. Just feels good to get out and get a jig and a bait wet. Obviously white works best in the brightest of sunlights, but it looks good swimming through there. I mean, really nice. Really impressed with that. I'm just going to move on down a little ways from where I was fishing earlier, because like I said, we pulled a couple nice ones out, as you can see in the video. There he is. There you go. Nice one. That's a bass. Nice young bass. He didn't have a problem seeing that white, did he? Or wanting it anyway. Well, if the bass will hit it, the crappie will hit it. We've had a handful of days here where the temperatures been really above normal. Oh, there's another one. Another bass. Nope, crappie. Now, folks, right there is a good sign. He got into it right there. Nice upper lip. I'm telling you, this grub bug is going to be, he's probably 9.5, 9 3/4 crappie. I didn't have my GoPro on when I was R&D'ing the others. I was using my phone, and yeah, that makes it kind of difficult to hold your phone and record at the same. Oh, I missed that one. Now, I don't have any scent on this or nothing, so it's pretty cool. When I did the video for the grub bug, there's a bite. Come on. He come up and love tapped it. I slowed it down just to see if he'd pick it up again. He didn't. I didn't have, the weather wasn't permissible to come out and test it for the video. That's one reason why I wanted to kind of get a video incorporated with how I R&D some of the baits or jigs that I construct, mainly to make sure that they're gonna hold up, something that you can fish all day and have fun with. So my pond, as you can see, is extremely low. Where I'm actually standing, it should have close to 4 feet of water. We believe that where this willow tree was, that there's a huge leak from the roots of that willow tree that died, and it's going to have to be excavated and new clay put in to seal it back off so that the pond will fill back up. So hopefully we can get that done in a timely fashion. So we're fishing this white jig, you know, and it's not even really the premium time. So it's like, yeah, it's 6:30 in the evening, sun's going down, and you know, typically you like to have a lot of sunlight when you're fishing white. Oops, that's what I get for talking. You like to have a lot of sunlight when you're fishing white, for sure. But this water is extremely clear, so it may have a lot to do with it. It's good to see that the fish are getting active. I'm definitely ready for it. You know, we've only, well, I guess it is now officially spring, but so right there's that old dead willow tree, and that willow tree had roots that was going everywhere into the pond. So I think we're gonna have to excavate all this out and repack it in clay, because that's where the pond is actually leaking now. So obviously I don't have anybody in mind yet. I know there's a handful of YouTubers here in Indiana that do a lot of pond building and stuff, so who knows, maybe we can get a collaboration going with one of them and get it all on YouTube and show you guys us fixing the pond. I use the pond heavily for you know, just studying and trying to engineer the base that I share with you folks here on the channel. So I don't think it'll get any lower than this, but it ain't gonna get any deeper than this. If it does, it'll go right back down to that level. So all right guys, hopefully you enjoyed that. Again, this is the grub bug Angel. It has a silver, it has a white marabou with the silver flash in it, and it's the holographic flash, so it gives it a lot of character. Hope you guys enjoyed this a little bit and enjoyed watching me test them out.